Hey YouTube, today I'm going to continue on Safaricom APIs. I'm going to continue from where we left off last time, that is generating access token. Now we are going to move to another API called known as business to client API. This is used by businesses to make payment to clients via Safaricom API. So let's get started. First of all, just log in, assuming that you have already created a developer account and it has already been verified. If you have any issue, you can just call Safaricom and they will sort you out. So we go to APIs. We're going to one more time generate an access token. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Now let's generate an access token. We go to apps, open a new tab, application, then you copy the credentials. Obviously I'm going to delete this app after this tutorial so that nobody may use my credentials accidentally. Okay, this is an error by Gmail, don't worry about it, just delete it. And copy customer key. Please don't try to use these credentials, use the ones that are in your application. Okay, I've already generated an API. Now we have already generated an access token. Now it's time to use it. Now before I continue, if for you to continue using with this tutorial, you should be having a live server, because what I'm going to do cannot be performed on a localhost. We are going to need a live server so that we may get some response from Safaricom. So this one cannot be performed on localhost, unfortunately, but however you can purchase a web domain, just the traditional web domain, at a fairly cheaper price. So for those who have a live server, you can continue, but for those who do not have a live server, I'm afraid you won't be able to follow this in this tutorial. So for those who have a live server, just go and create a folder. Mine, I've created a folder called Daraja, and I've created some. Let me create a folder in your file, anywhere in your server, as long as you can reference the directory of that directory. You can get the URL of that directory. Name it as tutorial 1 in short. So yeah, that is necessary. Make sure you can view it. I'm just going to copy an index file so that nobody may accidentally. Okay, I'm going to copy inside an index file just so that nobody might accidentally access that URL. There's so many people who are crafty. Don't trust anybody. Okay, so this directory, let me open it. Raja, this is on my server, so you should be having a different URL, obviously. Let's see that URL is yeah, okay, that's URL, it's working now. Let's go back to Safaricom. We have generated already an access token. Now what's remaining is, let's go back to close this. Let's go now to the APIs, business to client API. So I'm going to carry you through some parameters, request parameters. First of all, the one the parameters are many, but we'll go through the necessary those that are essential. Okay. First of all, there's the initiator name. The username of the M-Pesa B2C client API. Note the access channel for this operator must be API and the account must be in active status. So initiator name is the name of the account. Maybe your account could be called Mama John shop or something like that. Okay. The security credentials. This is the value obtained after encrypting the API initiator password. The process for encrypting the initiator password has been described under docs, and an online encryption process is available under test credential. The command ID is a unique command that specifies B2C transaction type. This can be either salary payment, business payment, promotion payment, the amount that is self-explanatory. Party A, by the way, this is very necessary. If you confuse this, you can be in big trouble. Party A is the account that is making the payment. Party B is the account that receives the payment. Okay. Now, why I was telling you guys that you must have a live server is due to the necessity of the queue timeout URL and the result URL. You need to have a URL that can be used to get the data from Safaricom to tell you whether the transaction has been successful or whether the transaction has failed. So that's something to consider. And yeah, let's continue. So we will get started right away. I'll start filling these values. Now here we need to copy here the access token that we have just generated. Yeah, where is that access token? Yes, Control C, and then we copy here. We have already copied it. Now, yeah, the initiator name will come, get test credentials, and the initiator name is this tests. You must choose this credential, otherwise I think it won't work. Now for security credential, there is a process by which you are going to use. First of all, we're going to take the security credential here, then you paste it here with the I. Make sure you have, if you leave even one character, it will not work. So make sure you have copied the whole character and you have eliminated the spaces at both ends. There should never be a space at both ends. So we generate, and I copy, Ctrl C, I come, I paste it here. So the command ID, you can just take, for example, one of them. Let's say like business payment. imagine that somebody is being paid after he has supplied some goods to an organization. And then we see, let's see there, the amount, let's say 7,000. I've supplied maybe tomatoes worth 7,000. Then the organization that is paying you is called that's this short code at the A. Yeah. The receiving user that has made the payment, that has made that has supplied the goods is this. Okay, let's paste it here. Make sure you paste it in the right place or you'll get an error. So the remarks can say payment for tomatoes for tomatoes. Yeah, hope that's the spelling. Now we have reached the queue timeout URL and the result URL. Now we will generate these URLs files that will the purpose of having this URL is to get the response from to store the response from Safaricom, either in a file or in a database, depending on how you want to perform the operation. Okay, for today we'll just be saving the response to a file. So I will go to the docs and then the docs section, document section, and I scroll to almost the end, and then I will look for the PHP file. No, that's not the end. No, it is the end. Yeah, it is this. I'll explain this code. Make sure you copy the PHP version on this documentation. For today we are going to handle the PHP on some tutorial on the in the future we are going to tackle Node.js, but today let's focus mainly on PHP. So we are going to create a new file here. Say q timeout q just q.php. Let's not complicate things. Okay, we paste it there, and then another file result.php. What this file basically do it's almost the same thing. What they do, let me change the name. Let me get the JSON file, not the text file. You can see here results added. Yeah. Then timeout dot JSON. Okay, let me explain the code. What these files do, they get the data. When we perform the API call, a post request is sent to this URL. This post request is then stored in a variable. Then that variable, then that data is written to a JSON file. A JSON file is created and then it's written there. Just basic operation. Now what we have to do is upload these two files to our server. Okay, upload. They usually just use the simple upload. I usually don't use complicated ones. So we'll go to Daraja 2 with that file. Some of you I know you have weird queue. What happened? And the result PHP. Okay, now I want to see if these things have been queue dot it should, yeah, it should print a response. Copy, let's see. Then that, yeah, queue timeout URL. Now we'll paste that URL there, and then the other one of results. Okay, we'll control C anyway. Ready? Paste it here. Paste it there. Then let's test it if you see. Okay, just a minute. So these have been generated while we load. Now some files need to be generated here if this thing is successful, unless an error occurs. Okay, it's successful. Let's see if it has been generated. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, you can see this file has been generated. Okay, you can download it and see if it has valid data. Yeah, you can see it's a result of the timer. Now let's preview it. I want just to preview it in Firefox. What does it say? That initiator information is invalid. Is something wrong? Yeah, there's something wrong. Okay. Yeah. But the data swapped. The something that I just copied it. Oh yeah, because that I'm seeing my error. Copied the wrong one. So instead, it's initiator name. It should be that. Yeah, it's correct. How did I put it? So maybe there's something that I've done that's wrong. And then look. Okay. Generate. Yeah. Click on Safaricom World. I'm careful, I don't want to delete everything. That's why you can see it's taking some time. Can see I do that error here. If I name it, it's okay. I can see the size of the file. Yeah, it's okay. Now if we download it, you can see that it's this latest and latest view. Yeah, you can see that's the data. As you can see, the amount that we have paid or received. So there's a lot of information here, but yeah, that concludes it. Yeah, we have done business to client, transmission, uh, transaction. Now hopefully next time we'll handle client to business. Yeah, thank you. And then after that we're going to handle now the live process. Thank you.